So today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite homeschooling curriculum. Now, I kind of went back and I looked at all the curriculum that we have used in the past 4 years. I'm sure I don't remember every single piece of curriculum that we've done in the past 4 years, but I did go back. I watched some of my videos. I took some notes. I tried to find all the curriculum that we have used in the last 4 years. And I wanted to talk about our favorite curriculums up until this point. Now, I couldn't just pick like one favorite curriculum because, yeah, there's just so many options to choose from. So what I did was I'm going to try to share my favorite curriculum in the four main subject areas. So math, English, social studies, and science. I'm going to try my best to share with you my favorite curriculums from those. So if you want to hear a little bit of our journey through different curriculums and sort of what we have landed on or some of our favorites throughout the years, stick around. If you're new here, my name is Davine and I homeschool 4 kids ages 11, 12, 13, and 15. They are going into 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade this upcoming school year. And on my channel, I like to talk about homeschool curriculum, how we homeschool, share tips and tricks as we learn them ourselves, and things like that. So if you're interested in stuff like that, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe so you see future videos. Also, today's video is a collaboration hosted by myself and Shauna from Homegrown Homeschool. A bunch of other homeschool moms are going to be joining in on this collaboration. So check out the playlist below to see what all the other homeschool moms say are their favorite homeschool curriculums. I'm sure you'll get some great ideas from watching this playlist. Okay, so I'm going to start with math, and then I'm going to move into like language arts and science, social studies, things like that. For language arts, I'm going to share my favorite curriculum for each component that we have done because we do not do all-in-ones. So I do have my list here, so you might be looking down. If you see me looking down, that's why. So like I said, I have 4 kids and we have been homeschooling for 4 years. Now, just because we use one curriculum for one child does not mean that we're using that same curriculum for another. So we have actually done a lot of different curriculum throughout these 4 years. We are not like jumping back and forth like crazy, but I was doing a lot of testing as we got started. I think as you homeschool, like we didn't just stick to one curriculum company and just stick to it. We like to test things out, try things out, and see what works for us. Not only works for us, works for our family, but also for that particular student for that particular year. So we are not like super committed to a certain curriculum company. And so you will see that in this video as we went through different things. Now, if I share a curriculum and I don't say that it is our favorite right now, it doesn't mean it wasn't our favorite at the time, or it doesn't mean it didn't work for us at the time. There are a lot of curriculums that we've used and they worked for a while and they were the right fit for us at that time, in that time period of our life, the way our family was, or for that particular child. So if I'm not picking a certain curriculum as my favorite, does not mean it's a bad curriculum by any means. It just means that it is not our favorite at the moment. Okay, so for math, we have done the good and the beautiful. We did the old level, level 2. We did the new levels 4 and 5. We've done teaching textbooks, grades 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We've done CTC math, grades 4, 5, and 6. We've done Think Well Math 8. We've done Math Mammoth, probably from level 2 to maybe level 5. I'm not sure if we've done all those levels, but we've done those. And we've done Beast Academy level 3. So between all my kids, those are all the math programs that we have used. Now, if I'm going to pick a favorite of all the math programs that we used, keeping in mind that other math programs worked for us at other times, my current favorite is CTC Math. CTC Math has been the mastery approach that my kids have needed at this point of their life. Some of my kids moved in from teaching textbooks. One of my kids moved in from The Good and the Beautiful, and those worked for a while, and then they just sort of stopped working for us, and we needed to make a change. So we changed to CTC Math, and that has been what has been working for us at this point. Even my daughter, who is currently in 7th grade, she was doing Think Well Math, and that just stopped working for us towards the end of the year. So we also moved her into CTC Math. So right now, all 4 of my kids are using CTC Math, and that is working for us right now. Will we use CTC Math forever? Probably not, but that is our current favorite math curriculum. Okay, so now let's move into language arts. There's so many different components. Let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to start with our favorite all-in-one. Now, when I say all-in-one, that doesn't mean that that's all we use, but these are curriculums that are meant to kind of take the place of all the other things, but we have always found the mix and match approach to be best for us. So we usually used an all-in-one in conjunction with other programs. But the 2 all-in-one programs that we have used in the past are Master Books, Language Lessons for a Living Education, and we used level 2 and 3 for that. And Queen Homeschool, Language Lessons for the Elementary Child, volume 1 and 2. So if I had to pick out of those, I would pick Queen Homeschool, Language Lessons for the Elementary Child. Master Books was okay. I didn't love all the different components. I don't know. I just really like the Queen Homeschool, Language Lessons for the Elementary Child a bit more. I felt like the lessons were simple, but it did have the different components, and there were just not certain days that just didn't work for us. Whereas with Master Books, Language Lessons for a Living Education, there were certain days that I sort of dreaded as a teacher and my kids sort of dreaded as students a little more than the language lessons for the elementary child. So for an all-in-one, if I had to pick one, I would go with that one. Next, for writing, we have done some different things for writing. Our first year, my older 2 did BJU's English 4. We have done IEW, Structure and Style, Year 1, Level A. We have done EIW, so Essentials in Writing, Level 8. We have done like a spectrum writing. I think that was a grade 7 book. We have done Michael Clay Thompson, which has a component for writing. And so if I had to pick, we are still sort of on the search for a favorite writing program. But if I had to pick out of all of those, the one that I saw the most change in, though I definitely had to adapt it to fit our family, was EIW, so Essentials in Writing, the Structure and Style. Not all my kids loved it, but it really did help one of my children grow a lot in her writing. So I'm going to say that that is our current favorite writing program, though we are on the lookout for more writing programs to try out. So next I want to talk about grammar. So different grammar that we have done. We have done Fix It, Book 1. We've done the old version and the new version. We've done Easy Grammar grade 4, as well as Easy Grammar Plus, which is like 7th grade and up. We've done BJU English, and we have done MCT Michael Clay Thompson, the Island level. So grammar, I'm having a hard time picking my favorite for grammar. I think if I have to choose both between my favorite and my kids' favorite, I might have to go with Easy Grammar. Now, I do really like Fix It Grammar, but I do find my kids kind of get bored of Fix It Grammar over time. Easy Grammar has a little more work each day, but it really does more of that mastery approach, which really helps my kids. So I kind of fluctuate between using both of those, but I think if I had to ask my kids as well as myself, our favorite overall might be Easy Grammar. So I'm going to go with Easy Grammar for our favorite grammar program. Next, vocabulary. So we have done Wordly Wise Book 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We have done the Critical Thinking Company's Word Roots, Beginner and Level 1. We have done 101 Doodle Definitions and Michael Clay Thompson, that Island level. And out of those, I would say the 2 that I would be debating are Word Roots from the Critical Thinking Company and Wordly Wise, honestly. And I don't think I would have thought that I would pick Wordly Wise as my favorite before I started homeschooling. I did use that as a teacher when I taught in a school, and I never thought I would really use that with my kids at home. However, I think that program, I'm just like more and more impressed with it as we go along, just because of the way that they teach words and the different ways that they make kids use vocabulary words. So at this point, I'm going to go with Wordly Wise. Next, for spelling, we have used Spelling UC level B, C, D, and E. We have used Evan Moore Building Spelling Skills, the grade 4 level, and we have used IEW's Phonetic Zoo. Now, if you've been here a while, you probably have guessed that Spelling UC has been actually our favorite spelling program. I only use this spelling program with my students who struggle more with spelling, and it has just been the one that we have used consistently. I have tried those other two, the Evan Moore Building Spelling Skills, which my daughter liked, but I don't know. It's just a different approach, and we didn't do that very long. And then we also tried out IEW Phonetic Zoo, which was a colossal fail for that particular student. She's not really an audio learner, and it just did not work well for us. We had to stop that very quickly. So Spelling UC, though it is not super exciting for my kids at this point, they've been doing it for quite a while, and we go very slow with it. It has been the best spelling program for our family. All right, next I'm going to look at phonics. We have done not as many things for phonics. We have done Explode the Code, probably levels 3 and up, and we have done Plaid Phonics level D. Now between those two, easy pick for us. We did not love the Plaid Phonics level D. Just did not like it. I just was not structured in a way that I liked. Explode the Code is something that 3 out of 4 of my kids have done, and they started at a certain level and they do it until they're done, until they're at level 8. I've never dropped it until they've reached that point. So Explode the Code definitely wins for us in our family for phonics. So reading comprehension, we have done a few different things. So first of all, we did story elements, grades 5 and 6 story elements. I think it's like a spotlight on reading. That was a well-trained mind recommendation, and I did that with my girls. And I remember that was a while ago. I didn't really love it. And then we have done like just written narration, which works for us. I'm not considering that a curriculum, but that has worked well for us as far as reading comprehension. But when it comes to reading and picking out bits of the passage and showing understanding, our favorite curriculum so far has been the Critical Thinking Company, Reading Detectives. I will link, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I will link links to all of the curriculums I mentioned here, well, as many as I can fit in the description box below, as well as videos to any reviews that I've done on any of the curriculum that I'm mentioning here. So if you want to see a review on anything like Critical Thinking Company, Reading Detectives, I do have a flip through of various levels of that. I will link all of those in the description box below, so check those out for more information. So that is the one that wins for reading comprehension. And then as far as just reading and literature, just books and book lists and things like that, we have done Sunlight B and C condensed. We have done Book Shark D and E condensed. We have done Sunlight F. We have done My Father's World, Countries and Cultures, and that had some literature suggestions. We have read a lot of different literature from a lot of different companies, but I always go back to Sunlight's reading list. Sunlight's reading list, their read alouds, their readers, those have always been the base of our homeschool reading programs, and we have really enjoyed those. So I'm going to say Sunlight / Book Shark, but particularly Sunlight because they do bring in those Christian worldview books occasionally. So we have really enjoyed those. And then one language art component that is really, we have not done anything else other than this one thing, is handwriting. We have always done the good and the beautiful handwriting, and that has worked for us for all the years of homeschooling that we've done. I think we started level 2 for some of my kids, and I have a child who's finishing level 7 this year. So we have done all the levels so far for the good and beautiful handwriting, just something that we've been doing for all 4 years of our homeschool. Okay, so next I'm going to move into history. What are some things that we have done for history? We have really only done Sunlight, we have done Book Shark, and we have done Beautiful Feet books. And though I love all of those programs, I love Beautiful Feet, I love Sunlight, I love Book Shark, this is actually a hard pick for me. I think slight leaning towards Sunlight. And I'm not even sure why. So yeah, Sunlight. Sunlight wins for me when it comes to those. I do love to bring in different books, and I really do love adding in Beautiful Feet books and those programs when we can. But for history, so far, Sunlight is our winner. So for geography, so I know that's kind of like history, but for geography, we have done My Father's World, the countries and cultures. We have done Guest Hollows, high school, geography and cultures, some of that. We've done quite a bit of that. And we have done Gather Around, Asia unit. So out of those three, I would definitely go for Guest Hollows, World Geography and Cultures, the high school level. We have really enjoyed that. We have spent several years on that, and I'm just looking forward to continuing to use that with my kids in the upcoming school year. In a future school year when my boys are older, I just have really loved that geography program. So the final topic is science. Science has been one of my struggles, I would say, along with writing. Science has been one of those struggle subjects. First year of homeschooling, I did not focus a lot on it. I think that I did start using My Father's World, Countries and Cultures, and I used their science. So it was a lot of life science. It was just reading some encyclopedias. And so that worked okay for that year. And then the next year after that, I started adding in some other science. So actually, no, we also did Gather Round Oceans. So our first year of homeschooling, we did Gather Round Oceans. So we did that as well. So we've done My Father's World Science. We've done Noeo Biology 2, level 2. We've done Guest Hollows Junior Anatomy. We've done Guest Hollows Actions and Reactions. Like I said, we did Gather Round Oceans. We've done the Good and the Beautiful Safety Unit, and we've done the Good and the Beautiful Maturation Unit. And I would say if I had to pick our favorite science, Guest Hollow is the win for that. I just love all the different books that they use. Science is not one of my favorite subjects to teach. And I just remember looking at Guest Hollow's Actions and Reactions unit and just getting excited about teaching science for the first time. And then we ended up using Guest Hollow's Junior Anatomy as actually before we used Actions and Reactions. And Junior Anatomy has been one of my favorite science programs. So I think overall, I'd say Guest Hollow's Junior Anatomy has been my favorite science program to teach my kids. And I just really enjoy the way that Guest Hollow puts things together for science. So those are my top curriculums out of all the curriculums that we've used. Well, all of the ones that I could think of in the past 4 years. I hope that gave you some things to think about. I would love to hear from all of you, like, what are your top math, language arts, social studies, science curriculum? I would love to hear your favorites and let other people know that just because something isn't my favorite doesn't mean it's not somebody else's favorite. And just because something isn't working for us right now doesn't mean it didn't work for us in the past. It doesn't mean it won't work for us in the future. It doesn't mean it wouldn't work for different families. So I would love to hear in the comments, what are some of your favorite curriculums, just so that people can see that people use a lot of different curriculums and lots of different curriculums work for different families. I'm not going to say that there is a perfect curriculum for every family, for every period, but there are some curriculums that work better during certain periods of your life, and there is flexibility in homeschool to move from curriculum to curriculum as you want to, or if you find the perfect curriculum company that just works for your family, you can do that as well. So thanks so much for coming today. Don't forget to check the playlist in the description box below to see what all the other homeschool moms who are going to be sharing their favorites, see what their favorites are. Thanks for coming, and I hope to see you all in a future video. Bye, everyone.